Hi guys, another week down. So today we are talking about ordering fractions, but only a little bit, and then ordering decimals. So I say only a little bit because they're only going to be specific types of fractions. Okay, so let's start by doing our warm-up. So if you notice, your warm-up is which fraction is greater and why? So if you are in class, this is one of those kind of questions where you'd be able to draw on the slide and then I'm going to show everybody the stuff. But for right now, which fraction is greater and why? Hopefully you said 5/8. 5/8. Now, one of the ways that we can sit there and say, we know this fraction is greater, is because they have the same denominator or the same bottom number. So if they have the same bottom number, that means if it was like a pizza, they're all the same size of slices. So let me draw you a little picture. It's not going to look great, but we're going to go with it. If I were to draw you a picture of a pizza, see, like I said, it's a little bit wonky. That's okay. And then we do eighths. So this is how I cut my pizza up actually at home all the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So if we cut it up into eighths, we can see that 5 slices, if I were to shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, more would be shaded than if I were to only have 1, 2, 3 slices. So 5/8 is greater than 3/8. Now, when you have the same denominator, the same bottom number, all you have to do is compare the top. So on Monday, we're going to talk about, well, what if they don't have the same bottom number, or what if they don't have the same denominator? But that is for Monday, not today. If the denominators are the same, like or common, so that's how you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it like denominators or a common denominator. Then you will compare the numerators. So I'm going to read this. For example, if I want the following fractions to be listed from least to greatest, they have a common denominator of 7. This means I only need to order the fractions by their numerators from least to greatest because they're the same type of slices. So if you notice, these are actually almost in the same in least to greatest order. I just needed to switch these two right here because 2 slices, 4 slices, 6 slices, and then 11 slices. So let's do some practice problems. So if you are working online, I want you to pause. I want you to try to do these on your own and then come back. And if you're back, hopefully you paused it and then you're back now. Order each box from least to greatest. So hopefully you see, okay, they all have the same denominator, so I'm just ordering the top. So from least to greatest, it would be 1/3. 2/3, and then 4/3. Now, if you notice, 4/3 actually means it's greater than 1 whole because I have more slices on top than on the bottom. So then for this one here, I would look at the top because the bottoms are the same, so I can look at the top. So from least to greatest, it would be 3/8, 5/8, and then 6/8. So then on this one right here, I look and I go, okay, the bottoms or the denominators are the same, so I can just compare the top. So I would get 1/15, 2/15, and 7/15. And then last but not least, I look, once again, same denominator. So it'd be 2/9. It would be 3/9, which actually, if you were to simplify that, that would be 1/3. And then 4/9. So you see, if the denominators are the same, it makes it a lot easier. That's why on Monday, we're actually going to change, or another word for change is convert. We're going to convert all of our fractions to have the same denominator, because then it's really easy to tell what's least to greatest. Okay, so for this next one, it says color the circles that are greater than 1/2. Now, before you can do that, you have to ask yourself, well, what is 1/2 as a decimal? Because all of these are decimals. Hopefully you said 50 cents. 50 cents, because let's think money. I love thinking money when it comes to fractions and decimals. So I need something that is, I need you to color all the ones that are bigger than 50 cents. I'm going to pause while you think about it. Okay, hopefully you paused it and you have an idea of which ones you're going to color. So 50 cents, I want greater than 50 cents. So I would have colored this one. I would have colored this one because this is 65 cents. This is $1.55. This is $2, so I would have colored this one. $1 is greater than 50 cents. 8 cents. 8 cents is not bigger than 50, so I'm not going to color that one. 33 cents, that's not bigger. 92 cents, yes, that is bigger. 75 cents, that's bigger. 5 cents, I'm not going to color that one. So when we're coloring these, if you notice, if it's bigger than 0.50, we colored it. If it was not bigger than 0.50, so less than, we did not color it. Now, when we are ordering decimals, I told you to think money. So let's talk about something else here. It says line up your decimals to keep correct place value. Now, this is when we're talking about some of the decimals like down here. They're really long decimals. If you notice, they're not all the same amount of decimal places. So that's why when we line them up, we line up our decimals. And then we're going to add some ghost zeros. That's what I like to call them because they're not really there. But what happens is it helps me to have the same number of decimal places. And I'll show you on the next slide what I'm talking about. And then we're just going to compare from left to right. So this strategy is actually called stack and box. And it makes sense because you're stacking the decimals up. And then you're kind of making a box because you're adding all of these ghost zeros. So let's look at what in the world are you talking about, Miss Wagner? This is what I'm talking about here. So if you notice, we took all of our numbers down here, 0.2, and then we added ghost zeros so that it would have the same place value as 8 thousandths. That's right there. Because that one goes to the thousandths place. So we made sure that all of our numbers go to the thousandths. Now, when we're comparing least to greatest, so it says it wants us to go from least to greatest. We're reading left to right, okay? So sometimes I like to read it as money, or if there's too many place values, I just read it as numbers. So this is 200 thousandths. So this is 200. This is 8. This one I think of as 2 and 470 thousandths. So already I know that this one has the whole number and it's the only one that has the whole number. So it has to be my greatest. So that would be the first one that I would put down. So then I would cross that one out. So if I were to be doing this on my own and on my own paper, I would actually cross that one out because I've already used it and put it as the greatest. So now I'm looking for the least. So I've got 200, I've got 8, I've got 90, and I've got 362. So if you notice, 8 is the least or the smallest. So I put that one first, and then I would cross it out. Then I say, okay, 200, 90, 362. Well, then 90 is now my second least. So I cross it out and I write it down. Then it would be 200 and then 362. Now, if you notice, it's just an easy way to kind of keep yourself organized because with all these weird decimals, it's really easy to get confused. So let's try 4 of these on your own. So what I want you to do is pause and then do these problems and then come back when you're done. Okay, hopefully you're back and you have a good idea of what you're thinking. So this is going to be a little bit tricky to do on the computer, but I'm going to do my best, okay? So I'm going to line up my decimals. So point, point, point. So it says 0 and 234 thousandths. This one says 0 and 5/10, and then 0 and 2,000. So now I'm going to put my ghost zeros in. So 1, 2. So if you notice, I now have 234 thousandths, 500 thousandths, and 2 thousandths. So if I'm going from least to greatest, the 2 is definitely the smallest. So I'm going to write that one down first. I'm going to cross it out. And then I would write down 234 thousandths because that's definitely next. And then when I'm rewriting this, I don't actually have to include my ghost zeros, so I'm not going to because that's more work. Work smarter. Okay, so then on this next one, I have, let's see, 16 and 9/10. So then I'm going to put my decimals so that I keep stacking because that's the big point is I'm stacking. And then 16 and 845 thousandths. And then I'm going to put my ghost zeros again. So I need to go to the thousandths. So I'm going to go to the thousandths. I'm going least to greatest again. So already I know my greatest is going to be this 20 because it's a 20 as a whole number. So I already know that one. So I'm just going to put that one down because it causes me less work because I already know that one. So that one's done. So then I look and I go, okay, I've got 16 and 900 thousandths or 16 and 845 thousandths. So the 845 is actually smaller, so just barely, but it matters here. And then I'm glad you guys can't see me right now because when I'm concentrating, I like to stick my tongue out because it doesn't help. I don't know why I do it, but. So then you might be sitting there going, okay, Miss Wagner, I think I've got it. So when you are stacking, sometimes you don't have to. Like if the numbers are really different, you won't have to. But on this one, like right here, you notice all my numbers are very similar. They're very, very similar. So this is when having a stack and then also your ghost zeros really does help. So I have 937 thousandths, 900 thousandths, and 930 thousandths. So they're really, really similar, okay? So this one would be this one first, so 0 and 9/10 would go first. So it's 900. Then it'd be the 930, so that would be 0 and 93/100. And then, of course, our last one, last but not least, definitely not the least, it's actually the greatest, is 937 thousandths. Okay, last question before I end this video. 7 and 2/10. Ooh, 7 and 201 thousandths, and then 7 and 2 thousandths, and then remember ghost zeros. Boom, boom. So let's see, I would have 2 would come first, so this last one. Then it would be 200. Oh my goodness, my computer's getting laggy, I'm sorry. And then it would be 7 and 201 thousandths. I'm sorry, my computer is not doing it right. So that's it. That's all we had to do. And you are done for the week. As long as everything is in, you guys are good to go. You guys are fantastic. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye.